What's going on? It's your girl. I'm back online. God bless each and every last one of y'all. So I really want to give my testimony on this story that took place and happened to me a long time ago. And this is out of the ordinary. I really don't make videos like this, but I want to raise awareness to other people because I want y'all to be mindful and careful of who you are entertaining, because everybody is not who they say they are. All right, I was scrolling on TikTok this morning and I came across this girl video, and this is what prompted me to speak out about this matter. And she said that she believed while she was at work, she came in contact with a jinn. A jinn, spelled J-I-N, is a demon that possesses a human being body. And I believe her. I really, really do. A long time ago, I was talking to this dude. Me and him, we had known each other through social media, but we had never physically met each other. This was so long ago. But I felt like, you know, an instant connection when we started messaging each other through social media. And, you know, I didn't have none of my personal business out there. I never put my personal business, like, you know, my house, my life, my car, stuff like that. Things like, I keep my stuff private. Still that way, been that way for years. We hit it off. We started talking through the text messages, and our connection and our bond is magnetic. It's explosive. I cannot explain it. And I told him, I was like, I really believe you might be my soulmate. He said, I think I am too. He said, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was sent to you. So I was like, okay, well, we'll see. Days go by, we still talking, whatever. He reaches out and he was like, I'm gonna call you so we can talk on the phone. So I'm like, all right, cool, call me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing nothing. I ain't got nothing going on. Let's get it. So he calls, and within the first 15 minutes of our phone call, there are certain things that have taken place, and, you know, he has said and he spoke that were accurate concerning me. Prime example, I remember I had got nervous while we was talking on the phone because it was our first call, and I began to shake my leg. I couldn't stop. Profusely, I'm shaking my leg. And he said, stop shaking your leg. He said, you keep rocking it. You won't stop moving it. And I laughed it off. And I said to myself, how did he know that? I said, how you know I'm rocking my leg? I said, how do you know this stuff? He said, cause I'm with you in spirit. He said, I can feel you. So I left it alone, and I was like, he got a lucky shot. He don't really know what's going on for real, but he was just, that was luck. We on the phone call, not even like 5-10 minutes later, I'm doing something, and he calls me out on it again. And he was like, stop doing that. He said, why do you keep doing that? He said, that's a part of you. He said, you've been doing this for a while now. So, and I know you're like, what was I doing looking out the windows? I constantly stayed looking out my blinds. At this time, I don't know why. It was just like a habit. I constantly, no matter what I was doing, I always made my way to the blinds, always. So I said, look, I got a little bit uncomfortable. I said, look, can we go back to texting? He said, yeah. He said, but it's not going to change nothing. And he knew I was running. So I was like, okay, we'll see. So, y'all, if I'm lying, God take breath out my body. I hung up the phone with him. We goes to texting. He started texting me certain things, and I'm laughing at the messages. I'm responding normal, but while I'm responding, I am cracking up. I'm laughing so hard. And he texts me at the very moment that I'm laughing. He said, you think this is a game? He said, but this is not a game. This is real. So I get frightened. I get spooked. But I'm like, I'm intrigued too. Because I'm like, this my soulmate. Like, it's either he my soulmate or he a demon. Like, and he just know, he got data. He done collected data on me, and he know me. I was right about that second one. So anyways, let me tell y'all what else happened. So I remember one morning I was laying in my bed and I was asleep. The covers move on my bed. I was the only one home at the time. And I felt the covers move on my bed, and I felt something touch my feet. And it was like I could feel a presence in my room. But no, when I woke up, wasn't nobody there. So my first instinct was like, call him and see what's going on. So I called him. He was like, hey, I said, I seen you message me. I said, I was asleep. He said, I know. He said, trust me, I know you asleep. So I said, can I ask you something? He said, go ahead. I said, I know this is strange. I said, but when I was laying in bed, I said, I felt something move the covers off my feet and rub my feet. I said, and when I woke up, I didn't see nobody, but I felt there was a presence in my room. I said, can I ask you something? I said, was it you? He said, I'm not going to answer that. And he started laughing. And he said, I think you know, just like I know what that was. I didn't know how to take that. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I felt like I was in trouble because I was feeling this dude so bad. And everything that he's telling me about myself, you have to understand, when you don't know a person from a can of beans and they are able to read you, that is a major green flag. That is a major turn on, because that shows that they know you. They're monitoring you. In a world full of people, they paying attention to you. You know what I'm saying? They're not distracted. So, boom. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to call you back. I was like, I got to get situated. I got to get my day started. I'll let that go. I said, can I ask you something? He said, you always want to ask me something. He said, go ahead. Can you tell me something about myself that nobody really knows, but only I know? He said, sure. He said, I know that, he said, whenever you drive your vehicle home, he said, you love to pull it all the way up in the yard. He said, you park so close to the driveway to minimize your walk. Y'all, he was right. And I could not shake this man for nothing. I couldn't shake him for nothing. And I said, you right. And I was scared at this point. And he was like, I said, tell me where I live. Tell me what kind of house I live in. He said, you live on a corner. He said, and your house is white. This man does not know me at all. Y'all, I'm fighting back tears. This is real. This ain't no cap. So, at this point, all I can hear is God signaling me. You in trouble. You in trouble. I keep hearing like, you in trouble. So, I have this physical attraction to him as well, right? And I'm trying to shake it, but I can't, because it's so powerful. Beyond anything that I've ever experienced in my life. When we was talking and we would be connecting, it's like I really could feel my spirit intertwining with his. I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm being so transparent and I'm being real with y'all about this. He told me, he said, once me and you take it there, and once we do this, he said, I want you to understand something. He said, you will belong to me forever. He said, you will never not be mine. And when we had those conversations, I was hearing him physically, but my spirit was like, are you listening? Are you listening to him? And I'm like, yes, I can hear him. And I remember when we would get off the phone, I would instantly start talking to God. Like I could hear God loud as I don't know what, saying, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't lay with him. Leave him alone. Stop talking to him. And I was like, God, I'm trying, but I can't. The connection is so strong. The chemistry, the bond is so strong. I can't. I want him. I crave him. In my mind, it was like, fast. I went on a 3-day fast, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I said, God, reveal him to me. I said, I need to know who he is. Y'all, all I kept seeing was that he was not of this world. He was from another realm, but he was a demonic force that was very cunning and very manipulative and very seducing. And I got free from him. I ended up telling him, look, we can't be friends no more. And I ended up blocking him completely from my life. And he was like, you'll be back. Y'all, I never went back. But when I say jinns are real, spirits are real, they actually can possess a person's human body. The same way God can use a vessel, the devil can too. And I believe that these things are roaming amongst us. You better be careful who you get involved with, because not everybody is who they say they are.